It's called a zero-day attack. The main target that they had historically in blockchain was Ethereum. 2 days ago, they started to infect the system. They put a program in Google Chrome. I am not proposing people to use Chrome. Actually, don't put any web extension. Bybit came from cookies. Cookies on Google Chrome. On your web browser, you have web extension usually. You can use many type of extension like translator or whatever. This is the main failure of your computer. But if this extension is vulnerable, if it's a bad application, this application will have access to all your computer, the camera, what you type on your keyboard, if you have access to your bank account, if you have access to your exchange.
Do they all have all the information already? Is it too late?
The hack itself happened in 2 minutes. As much thing you have to protect, as more vulnerability you have.
Can hardware wallets company actually access people's funds?
The only thing you should check if you want to use a centralized exchange.
Got the whole crypto world going wild. Money blockchain, she's the queen of the game. Stacking crypto like it's her claim to fame. If you want success, then take a look away.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Bunny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You are the cybersecurity expert. And I want to know, how does a person get into this space? Because it sounds so cool.
Okay, so great. Yes, actually, it's very cool. It's very interesting. It always interests me in my life. You start with, I suppose, with a normal engineer, computer school, like I did, and you get into it with, if you study cryptography, if you study some like deep mathematics stuff into your study life. But after that, on my career, I became an architect. So I am an architect engineer, IT engineer. So I provide a solution and architecture and advice to update, upgrade, and secure global architecture for very big company over the world. This is my job. And in my career, I got more and more deeply into security of the data, and finally I got involved into cyber defense. So I am now proposing my services of advising on which technology to adopt and to adapt into an existing environment to secure very high and sensible data. So this is what I do in my job in cybersecurity, in the cyber defense government in France.
Oh, you work for the government too?
It's always, when we are talking about defense, it's always related to the government. I am not working for the government, but it's, of course, defense area is related to government somehow. I am not working for the government. If you understand, yeah.
So when you say, I get it. Except for defense, right? You also do cold wallet audits.
Today, I realize audits mainly for people like you and me, final users of wallets, a cold wallet or a software wallet, to help to protect them, their transaction, to protect their life, their critical data, and to protect, to explain how to react, how to have a better life in online, and to be protected and not to make strong problem, to create problems with their data, with their transaction, and with everything they have, like iPhone or computer, how to react good on every situation. So that's mainly what I do. And about companies, about wallets companies, I have been in contact with, for example, a Ledger also, to talk about their kind of problems that I could find somehow. And they are working on many, of course, other subjects, and also more deep detail with Tangem wallet. That on my side, I found a very high level of security on their architecture. So mainly, what I do is to analyze the architecture of a wallet and to give my opinion on why this aspect of the wallet is not unsecure, but more a vulnerability. And why this aspect is very strong by just cybersecurity aspect. So, for example, I am on my side. I have so, like I said, I am working with cyber defense area industry, and we are mainly followed in those industry by governmental entity that is auditing us, because they, as a deep important entity in France in the government, we must be sure that all what we are doing, all the protocols that we are doing, all the applications that we put in place are respect a certain level of security. So we are always audited by this entity that's called ANSSI, Agence Nationale de Sécurité des Systèmes d'Information, means cybersecurity company for France. And what I wanted to say is that they provide me always the best certification, the best practices to how to secure and what we want to reach. So they provide me some good advice, some good example, good ideas how to do. So when I apply their advices on wallets, on crypto wallets and hardware wallets, I can directly identify what is good, what is not good, like globally, like as an idea. That doesn't mean that it's a critical vulnerability, a critical attacks or danger, but it's a kind of vulnerability, or other aspect can be a good point for not being a vulnerability. So we will discuss about that, I suppose.
Would you say like regular people will think war is between countries, like it involves all the weapons and stuff, but in cyber world, a lot of war is ongoing, but people just don't see it.
When you open your television, what happened, like the war in Ukraine, the war, like whatever, in even the problem in Middle East, but you have exactly at the same moment, you can follow the cyber attacks of all those areas, and we can see that very, very important groups makes a war in the cyber world exactly at the same moment that we have a real war with people.
You provide services for like private entity as well, right? How do people find you if they really need your service?
Yeah. So actually, I provide this activity is globally. I conduct it through private groups, but now I open myself to everyone. So again, it's for final user, not for company today. And people will find me over my website that I am now constructing, building. It's cryptosecurity.audit.com. I will provide you this link. I will provide. Usually now people contact me by LinkedIn, contact me by mails that I provide. But I will provide all those information into my website, and I will provide it to you if you will be able to add it in comments and to people, let people find me.
Perfect, because people need this service. It's like,
totally.
Hello, we're helpless here. We need you, you know?
Yes, totally. So yeah, I see how people need this kind of advice, and I make very, very deep audit on every aspect of your life, digital life, and I got very deep into how to protect, what choice you have to make on application, on devices, and very global advice that you have to follow in your life, like everyday life, not even directly related to crypto. It's how to have a safe behavior online. That's also that.
Can you tell me one that you think I would not expect?
So you have a web browser. You use Chrome, as I understand. That's the first thing I don't agree with. I am not proposing people to use Chrome. Actually, I suggest to people to use Mozilla Firefox or Brave. That is directly more into focused onto confidentiality and security of your data, instead of Google Chrome or solutions that are provided by big company and that can have access to your data, because it's a governmental law to let them access to your data. If there is any cyber defense, any cyber security law from the government that is found somehow into your area or your system, they are by law authorized to access your data. That's something. Yeah. So at this point, am also auditing this GDPR in France. We are talking about personal data security. So I have been auditing the company to be sure that they are compliant in this GDPR stuff, like privacy data. We are talking about this privacy data law. To come back on your question, on your web browser, you have web extension. Usually, you can use many type of web extension, like translator or whatever, like to put bright or the dark aspect of your web browser. This is the main failure of your computer, like the real main failure. You have to understand that those extensions are add-on to your program that is mainly secure. Let's say even if you use Google Chrome, but if this extension is vulnerable, if it's a bad application, this application will have access to all your computer in the web browser environment. That means the camera, what you type on your keyboard, what you have access, if you have access to your bank account, or if you have access to your exchange, even if you have multiple authentication, double authentication or biometrical authentication, he will see everything you do in online, like live aspect. So even if you do all what you want, he will have access to it. So my main something that you should be aware of is not to let any web extension be vulnerable. Like, actually, don't put any web extension. If you want to use a software wallet, that is the most critical wallet on the blockchain ecosystem. So use just this wallet and nothing else. Like, for example, MetaMask, put just MetaMask or Rabi wallet, and that's all, nothing else, because this is the main way to be hacked.
So let's say I have the extension, I do,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to remove it, but I'm really worried. Is it just gonna, if they could see me now, do they all have all the informations already? Is it too late?
No, alors, I don't think it's too late, because if it would be the case, you would be already hacked. So we can yeah, let's be honest. But if you have still this system, you can simply remove all your extension, and you can remove your software wallet from Chrome, and to install Firefox or Brave, and to reinstall your software wallet in Firefox, and everything will be okay globally.
Let's talk about the biggest hack of humankind,
Yeah.
which is the Bybit incident that just happened.
Yeah.
I want you to maybe break it down from a cybersecurity expert's perspective, because for us, we see it on the news and it's analyzed by God knows who,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's probably not an expert. So from your perspective, what happened? What exactly happened? What went wrong?
Okay, so first, when we saw that on the news, like you and me, we wanted to know who was behind that, and we discovered that it was a very big group. It was Lazarus cyber group, cyber attacker from North Korea. So we definitely understood that it was not a simple hack. It was a very prepared and very very synchronized hack. Actually, the hack itself happened in 2 minutes. It's globally
Wow.
it's the timing of an attack between 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Usually, it doesn't take more than that, and in 2 minutes they did 60 or 70 transactions of 10,000 Ethereum. That's what they did in
Wow.
2 minutes. So it took really 2 minutes, but it had been prepared before. I mean, the hackers already get inside the system before it happened. Like 2 days ago, they started to infect the system. But when they infect the system, they inserted they put a program in Google Chrome. So you have to say it was on that's what happened in the Google Chrome web browser of the signature, like on Bybit people. they insert this code to allow the program to be activated in very certain circumstances, when with a very specified wallet and specified person owner of this wallet, because we are talking about multi-sig now. So let me explain you how it started. So one day, like in the middle of the week, it was on 17, like don't really remember it because the hack happened on Friday, but 2 days ago, Lazarus group inserted, they sent a hack into the safe wallet. They infected the multi-signature system. So that is using Bybit. So what is happening in Bybit? When they made those big moves, every day they have also cold wallets. What I provide is exactly what I would propose to you. Use a cold wallet. So their big money are not online. They put it online when they need to make transaction. So they have cold wallet. So it's mainly cold wallets that are compatible with multi-signature systems. So it's we are talking about like type of Trezor and Ledger type of cold wallet, and they have their wallet on multi-signature system. So that means that there is several people that need to sign the transaction. So from here, everything is normal. They do that every day or every week. I don't really know. And what happened is that this multi-signature came from safe smart contract. So we are talking about, before it was called Gnosis, safe Gnosis smart contract, multi-signature. Now we are talking just about safe wallet, and their multi-signature was based on a safe program, safe smart contract. So 2 days ago, like I said, Lazarus Group sent a hack into the system, into the web interface, into the display system of safe platform. That's very interesting, and this is the start of the shocking of what happened, because they introduced their hack from the display interface of safe. It wasn't the smart contract that was hacked. The smart contract itself just allow exactly like he would allow any transaction, but the display of safe, that is Safe Point Global, this is the application that has been hacked, was received a hack that allow to modify just before signing the transaction. It allow to change the final address, the global address of the receiver. So here, what I want you to understand and to identify as a fail, as something not normal, is that the display system of safe allowed to manage the safe the contract side, the certification, as and in fact it should just be something just to display the system. SafePoint Global is an application for the web interface just in front. We are talking about something that should just display information, not change any part of the signature. So that was the first shocking thing, that how this display application could modify the final destinataire. But this is what happened. So 2 days ago, they changed that. This change got into action when they identified first the wallet they wanted to hack. So it's a wallet with this huge money, and the people they identified also, they have to investigate also who is the owner of this those wallets, like who are the multi-signature owner of this wallet. So in the code, we can directly see the list of public address of the owners and the list of the wallets they wanted to hack. And if those wallets are in the conditions, okay, the program is launched. So this is the beginning of the code. And also we have to understand that this system of safe is they deploy it into a system also, like everyone. Any website is deployed into a cloud or whatever, and safe system is deployed into AWS S3. So it's very global. That's also a second point I have to mention when I investigated on the audit that has been directly showed by the CEO of Bybit himself. He did an investigation, and I read directly the report from the CEO that he put on X directly. So I read it, and the conclusion of this audit is that we are still trying to understand if the failure, if the vulnerability came from Amazon S3 or from another aspect. But we have to say that they had to introduce this hack into Amazon. So somehow they could have access. They could reach the data authentication to access this Web3, this Amazon server. So we can see that here we have Amazon that is on one side, if they had access to the correct identification, like if they could steal those identification system to introduce the system of Amazon, or if they hacked Amazon, this I don't know yet. But the second point is that there is human here that is involved. This is the main point I want to explain here. When usually a system is hacked, mainly statistically it's human that is behind a problem, behind a failure. As less human you have, more security you have. That's a fact. If you let yourself to have your own seed phrase, that means that you let yourself as a human trying to protect or to hide your seed phrase, but somehow someone could find it. So I am also part as Tangem propose a part of proposing not to let a seed phrase system to recover your data. It's something that you have to hold on your side.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the CEO of Tangem said that it's a time bomb, and actually I understand this point of view because you have to protect this seed phrase. It's with this seed phrase you can access all your money, so you have to protect it as much as your wallet. I mean, you have two things to secure now instead of one. Of course, the seed phrase is a solution to have a backup. Yes, that's funny.
That is right.
Of course, yes. If you think about it, cybersecurity is very simple. It's very simple. As much thing you have to protect, as more vulnerability you have. Okay, so don't need to make it more complicated. Don't create you trouble. One system, secure it, and that's all. Okay, that's my point of view, and that's what Tangem does actually. So to come back on what happened in Bybit, we have cold wallet people that signed a transaction with safe, and what have been hacked is their computer, is what was written on the computer and on the interface of safe. So they went on safe, they signed the transaction. So the hack modifies the address on the screen of their computer on safe. So they didn't see anything bad on the screen, but on the wallet itself, on the little screen, this little display on their little wallet, the address was not the correct one. It was a human failure. We are directly talking about blindsiding. If they would have to take 1 second, each of them, they all did the same mistake, all the signers. If they would see that the address on their wallet was not the same on their screen, nothing would happen. So it wasn't a 100% hack, non-visible hack. If they would take this time to see that what they signed on their cold wallet was not the same address that is on the screen, they would recognize that there will be a problem and they would not sign it. So that's my vision on what I know now. Maybe there is something new that will tell me that no, even the cold wallet was hacked, but for the moment, no, the cold wallet was not hacked. It's just the safe display system that was hacked.
I think I watched the interview or like the Q&A with Benzo right after what happened. I think what he was saying is with multi-sig, the screen doesn't really show the full thing, and it probably couldn't fit the little screen, so he just signed.
A little screen display on a little device like on this side, it's not enough. It's not a hardware wallet, but usually hardware wallet like Trezor or Ledger are very small, and the display is too small. Okay, they have bigger wallets, but on this little screen, you can't, as you say, you can just see some few part of the characters of the address, and you have to wait or to click on next to see the next part maybe, but it's not enough. it's not enough. So they said that if the display is on the wallet, so it's secured, like it's a safe display. In my vision, in my analyze, it's not if the display is on the device that proves that it's secured, but actually here on safe, it wasn't the case. The display really displayed the correct information. So we will not go into vulnerability of that. It's not the point here. But if the display was bigger, we could directly see that the address was not good. I think that as human, like you and me, we don't want to. It's very uncomfortable to see things like on just one line. It's not easy to read something. So that's why they trusted their device, like their computer, on safe, and they didn't read anything on the device. That's also a point that I want to mention. So the connection you have between the display and the hardware wallet, this is the question should be how the display is connected to your device. For example, on a hardware wallet like Trezor or Ledger, it's just physically connected. That means that if someone could access, open the system and try to make some vault injection or stuff like that, and you could access the data, you could modify things and access some information. For example, on Tangem, it's just a card and it's just holding the private key and the public key, nothing else. There is no entry point, there is no USB, there is nothing, and it's not even upgradable. That it's something on my side. I think that it's a good point. But of course, we can discuss about this. We can't, of course, sometime we will probably need to upgrade or to update something. But this is also another subject. But the point is that the connection between the card and the display is on the smartphone. And what connects the card, the hardware wallet to the display is a cryptographic certificate. That's strong. That's really strong. If there is a problem on the smartphone, or if there is a problem on your card, like Tangem card, so if one of them is not correct, the communication will just stop. It won't recognize because it's based on a certificate, on a cryptographic certificate. Just to be sure that you understand how deep important it is. All the blockchain is based on cryptographic certificate. It's the principle of the blockchain. So that's why I think that it's much more stronger way to communicate between the wallet and the screen. Just in comparison, with a hardware wallet with a screen inside that you can modify by opening the box and to create some, like when I was saying volt injection, it's when you try to manipulate the electricity on it and to create troubles to the device and to generate some electricity wave, and to analyze those waves and to see, okay, this is A, this is B, this is C, like exactly something like that. You can have those system to hack the system. You can have those option to hack the system. Finally, the people on Bybit, they just haven't read correctly. It's a human failure. First of all, human failure about the fact that they didn't read correctly the final address on the wallet, on the hardware wallet, and also it was a hack from the safe side, because the display system was not supposed to be able to modify the transaction itself, and this is what happened. So we can have also here a development like application architecture that was not really correct. The display was not supposed to do anything about decisional things, like what address to deploy, what is the correct address, and that's all. So we have those two parts to identify. So we are talking about blindsiding, human compromission, and software application compromission on the safe side.
Okay. Well, what you just said about the hardware wallet with a screen, I need to play devil's advocate here, because I've heard other experts saying that the most important thing for a hardware wallet is to have a screen. Now, I'm hearing all different things now, and I want to know your point of view. So when you say, okay, for example, the Bybit situation, they didn't read it correctly. But let's say today, if they were using Tangem, then the display will be on the phone.
Yeah.
It's an app.
Mhm.
Now, the app could be hacked, but what you were saying is if I use the card and I scan, it won't even scan.
Yes, it's working like that. If the application or the wallet is not authentic, the certificate that is, it's a cryptographic certificate. It's like a hash. A hash. It's something that you can't modify. If there is one bit, one single information that is changed, everything is broken. Like the communication is broken because the result of the checks, there is a check number that is very, very precise. If there is one little thing that changes, this number, this big number will change. So the communication will stop. It won't recognize it. So that's why I say that if they would have used the Tangem wallet, and if the application, let's say the application would be hacked on your smartphone, so the card will not recognize the system, and you say, no, I can't sign it. It's not the application. It's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's not the application. So the card, and it will happen because the card itself is when you initialize it, it's done. It's finished. There is no possibility to modify it unless you want to destruct it. Like it's just a card. Like what can you do? First of all, the system that is on this card is the same system that you use to validate your passport when you change country. When you have this passport control, there is a chipset inside that is the same chipset on Tangem card. This chipset actually is also used in cyber defense in France, actually. So it's a very high secure system, and you can't modify it. It's just a card. So if there would be any problem, the card would not authentify it. And in the opposite, if the card would have a problem, the application would not identify the card. So it's bidirectional. And what Lazarus Group had to do here is to find a way to attack a system without being here. It's totally, they did it from very far. No one was here in front to be inside Bybit to modify something inside, because of course that's a part of it. Could happen like that, like someone inside, a spy that would open a back door to do something very fast, but it's not like that. This Lazarus Group operate in total distant method.
And like you said, Ledger has this bigger screen, the device Flex, I think. You think if they were using that, it would be preventable? Yes,
I think it would be, because as a human, it's preventable. Just again, we're talking about human. If you read correctly what happened, you would see. But of course, on a big screen, I think this the ledger that you are talking about is very big like that. So if you would see correctly the address, you would see that it's not the same address on the screen and on your hardware wallet. But of course, it's bigger, so you can see it globally. So yes.
One last question. So you said Tangem, it won't scan if it was hacked. But with Ledger, then that means Ledger has a different way of transmitting the information, because otherwise you can say the same about Ledger. If it's wrong, it shouldn't go through.
Yes, and yes, you are right. And actually, Ledger wasn't impacted here. The hardware wallet itself, here in Bybit use case, is not in fault. The hardware wallet showed the correct false address. It showed the address of the hackers, but just a few parts. Just a few parts.
I see.
That's the point. And that's what happened. I'm just saying that here, if they would have a bigger screen, they could probably see that it's not the same. But the hardware wallet totally identified the hacker address.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's what I saw on reports as well. It says it has nothing to do with the hardware wallet itself.
Yeah.
But your suggestion is to have like a bigger screen, which I think it's very fair to say.
Totally. It's just, voilà, exactement what we said. If with a bigger screen, they could see that it's not the correct address.
As what I know, right? Hackers can actually stay in the system for a while and wait for the perfect time.
You are right. Yeah.
So
that's true.
So how do I even know if they're already in my system, like in my phone, let's say, or in my laptop? you can use all the software to scan and all that, but I don't know because like really good hacker groups, I feel like they can do anything if they want to, like you said earlier.
Bunny, I can't tell you how much right you are, because we are talking here about something I wanted to share and I forgot myself. It's called a 0-day attack. A 0-day attack, it's a day. It's a type of attack that is happening with 0-day prevention, 0-day anticipation. That's the definition. That's what happened when hackers found a failure in a system and keep it hidden, keep it in a secret, and they will use it in a very strategic moment. And that's exactly what happened with a very, very good group of hackers, like very high skills of hackers. And usually we are talking about almost governmental entities or hacker like Lazarus Group that have many. It's like it's kind of a joker card, that they keep for big opportunities, and that's what we call 0-day attack. And to be honest, here in Bybit, it was a 0-day attack from safe, because I'm sure that this vulnerability, they found it a lot before, but they wanted to find the correct opportunity, the correct timing to hack and to attack safe on with this system, because they knew, of course, that when they will make this attack, safe will patch this vulnerability. So they wanted to have the biggest amount, and they did it, 1.46704 billion. It's huge.
Yeah.
So yes, we are talking about a 0-day attack. You're right.
And for a normal person, retail users, we don't have that big of an amount, but we're still worried about our system being hacked and we don't realize it.
Yeah.
So and you said no system is 100% secure. Then it become like a philosophy type of question.
Yeah.
Do I start or do I not? Or like, what do I do? It feels like you're going to be attacked regardless.
Usually you can be safe on your side because, first of all, I'm sure that you and me have a 0-day attack on our system. There is a 0-day attack maybe on, I am using a Windows system. You are maybe on Mac system, but there is probably some 0-day attack on those, like some failures, secret vulnerability. But you and me are not at a governmental level to be reached by those attacks. If you would be attacked, that's what I told you before. If you would have a vulnerability, you would already been attacked. You are not kind of personality that would an attacker group, a hacker group would wait the correct opportunity to hack you. You are not at this level. You are not Bybit. We are not this kind of level. We are just we are targeted by lower hackers that are mainly wait for a social engineering type of hacking. You don't have to worry about those kind of attacks. It's not for us. Yeah.
See, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, I feel better for that. Yeah. Don't worry.
In Benzo, like the Bybit CEO's interview, he said something that made me think. He said he was transferring from or out of, I can't remember, warm wallet. Now then I looked up like your presentation. You said there's cold wallet, hot wallet, and warm wallet. You put Tangem under cold, Ledger and Trezor under warm.
No, all of them are cold. Trezor, Ledger, and Tangem are cold. But actually, what is true is that on my conferences, I said that Tangem is real cold wallet, and I put actually Ledger and Trezor as warm, not warm, but less cold wallet. Because it's just by definition, I don't attack here Ledger or Trezor, but by definition, what is a cold wallet? It's a system that holds your private key and public key not connected to internet. That's the definition. By definition, cold is not connected. Cold wallets, so stuff. You know that because now you are talking about crypto. But before crypto world, in my job, we were talking about cold storage. It exists before. And cold storage is just a storage that you have humanly take the data with a USB key from here and to walk and to put it in a code like somewhere else. It's not connected to internet. This is cold. So Tangem wallet is a card. It doesn't have any input output, just this NFC system to output the authorization. There is no connection, there is not entry point. And instead of Ledger and Trezor system that have connections, that they have USB port, because it's a system that has to be upgradable. They have to update the system, they have to update the chipset, and they have to make the communication between the hardware wallet to your computer to sometimes to make transaction. But even if you make the transaction offline, but by definition, Trezor and Ledger can be online. You can connect it to your computer. So that's my conclusion. It's not totally cold. Do you understand what I mean?
I see. I see. Okay, so this question, I think a lot of people who are not in crypto for a long time would be very curious. Now, when I store funds in a hardware wallet, a lot of people think you're actually storing it in the device, but it's not. Tell us, where does the money actually go? And how do I make sure that I am the only person that can access the fund?
Good question. Okay, so as you said, the funds are on the blockchain. They are decentralized, and this is the key word of everything. Everyone that own a node, everyone that have those miners, that's what we call miners, those people who have downloaded all the blockchain or their computer, they own all the data. They have they are the proof of the veracity of the truth, like of the real trace of the money. So the coins are online, like they are on this decentralized system. Everyone have the same register, the same log of data, because the blockchain is just a log of transaction, nothing else. And this is where the money is. It's on the chain, on chain. And what you have, a hardware wallet is by definition, the definition is an asymmetric cryptographic system generator. That means what? That means that your asymmetric mean asymmetric cryptographic. It's private and public key. For example, in different asymmetric system is just one private key, and you have to share. If you and me, Bonnie, you would want to share a secret together, we would have to share the same private key. This is symmetric. We were using that during the First and Second World War, but after that we started to use second asymmetric system, mean a public key and a private key, and then the public can be public. That's the point of it. And you will have a public key to encrypt, and I will have a public key, private key to encrypt, and on my side I will decrypt. So this is how it works. So now the hardware wallet just hold private key and public key, nothing else. That's the role of the hardware wallet. And then that's why this system should not be somehow upgraded, or when we are talking about the screen, for example, the screen is something we can understand that has to be upgraded, that have to have updates because the phone is being updated and things like that. So if you put the screen on the wallet, you put you put a vulnerability, because you have to upgrade all the wallet, like all the device, with the screen. And that's why Tangem somehow it's a very interesting system, secure system, because the card itself doesn't have any screen, and it holds your private key and public key, nothing else. And that's the real sense of a wallet, to hold public and private key.
And they do it intentionally, right? Intentionally, no screen.
Exactly, intentionally. This system has been raised by the CEO by checking all the failure and all the vulnerabilities of all other wallets, and he created Tangem wallet. It's like a super secure system raised by all the vulnerability of other wallets.
Earlier you said human failure, right?
Yeah.
And you want to hold as little things as possible.
Totally.
I think you said something about humans should not be holding their private key or seed phrase.
Seed phrase.
Seed phrase. Okay. Humans should not. Okay, you said humans should not be able to hold their seed phrase, then where should it go? Like, tell us what you mean by that.
Okay. When you create a hardware wallet, you generate a public and private key. Yes, this is the system. And usually, seed phrase is a system that allow you to make a backup of your hardware wallet if you need it. And the system, a hardware wallet that is created with seed phrase, actually you just not generate private key and public key. Those public key and private key are generated from the seed phrase. So it's a system where the private key and public key are generated from this seed phrase. And this is another system. Tangem created a private key and public key totally without a seed phrase, so it's auto-generated. It's not. It doesn't generate the public and private key from the seed phrase. This is something I want to tell you. And from this, you have to understand that if you generate your wallet through a seed phrase, so you have your hardware wallet that you have to secure, and you have the seed phrase here, 12 or 24 words that you have to, okay, where will I put it? Like, you will start to make a hole in your wall, like to secure it. Like, what will I do with it? You think that it's well hidden, but maybe someone saw it one day, and you will just wake up one day and you will see that your wallet was totally is totally empty, and you will finally see that yes, maybe this secret place was not as secret as I saw. That's the point. You have to hold two secrets: your wallet and the seed phrase.
Two questions that came from what you just said. First question is, what if Tangem goes down? Because with the seed phrase, I can kind of get my fund back. Now, if I don't have that, what do I do?
Yeah. So
that's the first question.
So you see this Tangem has a system with 2 or 3 cards or ring, and so let's say you have 3 cards. If you lose one card and you lose even the second card somehow, you still have one card to say, okay, now it's time to change wallet. You could you will take the money of your last card and you will send it to a new wallet, Tangem or whatever you want. That's the first principle of Tangem. And you say, what happens if Tangem fall? What Tangem is the application you can't reach the store. So actually, it's a very simple thing. You can the application is totally disconnected from Tangem environment. It's on GitHub. It's totally official platform to have programs. You just have to go on the link, you click, you can install it like exactly like you would do with your Apple Store or Samsung Store, whatever, Android store, and you will have it on your phone, and you will totally be able, even if Tangem doesn't exist anymore, you would totally be able to reach your fund and to communicate with your wallet and to be able to transfer it everywhere you want. It will continue to work.
Second question I thought of when you just said from what you just said is you said private key and public key is from seed phrase, and see, I was totally wrong. I thought seed phrase was from private key.
No, you generate the private key and public key from the seed phrase. Yes.
I see. I see. Okay, so with Tangem, I don't have seed phrase. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Tangem can generate a public key and a private key without seed phrase. It's not connected to a seed phrase. You can generate by yourself. You know, it's a protocol that exists again since the Second World War, and now after that, the blockchain has used this cryptographic system to make a new system that Satoshi Nakamoto created. But whatever, we are still talking about asymmetric cryptographic system that is public and private key. So you can create by itself a private and public key. The only thing is that seed phrase, it's a system that you already have a sentence. That means that you already have a root of your system, and you create you generate private and public key from this root. That means that they depends from it. That's how, and that's why you can have a backup from your wallet with a seed phrase, because those numbers have been created from it. So this is the system of a seed phrase. And you can also, like I said, generate it without seed phrase and have two totally new private and public key.
Okay. Which way would you personally pick? Because I think last time I talked about Tangem, I think a lot of people raised the question of, okay, if I don't have seed phrase, isn't that very dangerous?
So again, what I would pick, and what I do actually, is to have a system without seed phrase. I trust this system because I don't want to have this this complication to put this seed phrase somewhere and to hide the system. I don't like the fact that me as human have to hold and to secure a system that is already secured by itself. Like seriously, blockchain is very secure. Like Bitcoins and cryptographic system is nowadays the most secure things we have. So no need to think that your seed phrase you will hide it in the wall of your neighbor and it will be better. So I don't trust those systems. That's my choice to be a seedless system.
Big topic that always come up when it comes to hardware wallet is, can the company actually access your funds? And I always hear different companies coming out with reports and stuff saying that, hey, we cannot, but someone else can. So I want to ask you, can hardware wallets company actually access people's funds?
So to answer directly, no. They don't have this possibility. It will be a huge risk from them to allow this process, because if someone will find it, it will be a catastrophe, to be honest.
Now, it seems like all wallets have some flaws, right? But I have not heard what could go wrong with Tangem.
What?
Like when you say no system is 100%
Totally
secured, right? What could go wrong with Tangem?
Like I said, the main vulnerability is entry point of a system. And I'm talking even of hardware wallets. Every system, the main thing you want to know is how to access it. Even in the war, we are talking about Troy War here. How they could insert this huge castle. They send the horse Troy. They insert something inside the system. They got inside. So this is the main question in cybersecurity: how to connect to be inside the system. On this angle aspect of consideration, Tangem card connection is NFC. This is only protocol that open to communication, and NFC system protocol is blocked on writing. Like there is no input way. But anyway, if you would want to access a Tangem card, you would have to face the NFC protocol and to find a way to interact with the card. I really don't know how it could be possible, because the protocol, NFC protocol, is blocked for input. It's just for output, just to validate a transaction. So far, I never heard that it has been possible.
What about the ring?
The ring is the same system. The ring is based on an NFC protocol with exactly the same system, with the same chipset as far as I understand, with exactly the outputs, like the readable NFC firmware. So just to make you a little joke about that, if you are able to hack Tangem, so you will be able to hack your passport. Okay, so I don't think that the government will allow that. I told you the chipset is the same that on your passport. It's a passport security system. If you succeed to hack that, you will have problem with government.
Okay, I see. Now, I know that you can stake tokens on Tangem, but my question will be, if the thing is offline, how do you even do that?
The transaction itself is on chain, so the chain is, of course, is on the web, like it's online. It's just a process. The final process of signature came. We said that it's offline because the device is not connected to internet. It's a cold wallet. It's a cold system, not connected. So in the end of all those online systems, you take your signature system, your cold wallet signature system, and you connect your wallet to it. So instantly, and that's why I talk about that before. Ledger and Trezor's type, you can put a cable and connect to your computer, and this is a part of on my side, part of the problem. But you can also not connect anything and to go on your device and validate the transaction because it's somehow connected to your computer to validate, to synchronize a transaction. So it must be connected somehow. You are right. This is not very clear, like very easy to explain. To explain how is totally offline because the transaction itself is online. I mean the transaction.
Yes, staking.
Yes, the staking, but the signature, the validation is offline because it's on your device. It's just something that you have on your hand. Okay. That's and it depends. This final step depends on the device. I know that for Tangem, you have this card. It's a proof of the system, and you just when you tap on your phone, I directly understand that it's offline because the device remain offline. On other hardware wallet, somehow it has to be connected to the system. I don't want to mistake my understanding of other protocol because I very deep focus on the step on a protocol to share my advice. So when is exactly the offline process, the offline step of validation? I will still not need to focus on every system, but the signature globally is offline.
We want to talk about Lazarus Group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Lazarus Group, fine.
What do you know about them?
Lazarus Group, what do I know about them? Is just their reputation and that they are involved into. They are involved into financing North Korea government globally. They are almost a governmental entity that hack other countries that are enemies globally of North Korea to find funds for the government. So we are talking about, and I hope I don't say mistakes about that because it's not my point here. It's just global knowledge that I have about them. They have very good skills. They are trained in North Korea, in sometimes not in North Korea. They have very good found, like they have very good skills, but also very good environment to provide to create those attacks by the fact that it's a very organized, very strong entities, and they can their role is just to hack a very, very huge system with very huge profit. It's that's what I can say on this Lazarus Group. You will see their name on Bybit, and you will globally they reach just targets starting from $500 million or euro by funds, not only on crypto, of course, and this is their role to reach strategic chirurgical attacks on very huge profits, and that's what I know about Lazarus Group globally.
What type of platforms are hackers most focused on? For example, if it's cross-chain, is it exchange? Is it DeFi? Do you know anything that people should maybe try to avoid?
Yeah, you mentioned it in your answer. Actually, that's correct.
Cross-chain?
Cross-chain is the main one. Then Ethereum environment is the second one. And the third one is centralized exchange. As you can see, centralized exchange is for governmental, like very high skilled hackers. Actually, cross-chain also is like it's huge money that they do on cross-chain. And the main target that they had historically in blockchain was Ethereum. Of course, they started with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is quite secure system. But Ethereum was less secure. And they started to be more and more secure now, but still, it's still a huge part of the revenue. So cross-chain, Ethereum, and centralized exchange.
It's really funny. I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of people in crypto are annoyed with Ethereum right now because of the price. Now plus this. Oh my God.
Yes, yes,
I don't think it's helping.
yes, it's not. Of course, there is a big part of self-confidence we should have for in this area, and we must know that all those like online system of way of making money are vulnerable to cyber attacks. So we must live with it in this. And to be sure that like to ensure our own steps on our level. If you want to, like a simple advice, for example, about you and me, I would say that the only thing you should check if you want to use a centralized exchange is just to check their policy of refund of an insurance policy. You just have to check if the percentage of covering insurance policy is covering the amount of money you want to put on it, and then you can just sleep. You can just sleep correctly. You don't care if you have been hacked by Lazarus Group or by all the world. You don't care because you know that the policy will refund you. Like nothing, no need to do more than that.
So I don't know. Are you aware if the centralized exchange right now are insured?
Yeah.
I don't know if insurance company would
Yes,
actually. They
of course. It's part of my
They
audit.
are.
It's part of my audit. I share that points with people. Yeah, I have also this analyze of how to safely go into an exchange. And yes, they have a refundable policy insurance.
That's interesting. And it's all public information.
Totally public. Yes.
Jeez. I should just.
Yes. Again,
How can I not know this?
you
Terrible.
will know it when you will do your audit with me, Bonnie. It's for sure. But also, just for you to know, Bybit, after this huge, the biggest attacks of the world on cryptocurrency, you have to know that they could refund and they could be available again just 72 hours after. You have to understand how huge capacity skills it is from Bybit side to totally cover the fund, totally cover the loss, and to be able to provide their
Never
service.
stop withdrawal.
Yes, almost never. Like it took them 18 hours to be able to put back again the service and 72 hours to cover all the loss. Do you imagine 1.46 billion have been covered in 72 hours just to show the strength of this system of Bybit. So it's just to give them back their like some of proud for them, because it's not easy to have to be like popular for being the biggest attacks of the world, but they should be also popular by being the fastest system recovering system of the world, also 72 hours.
You know, I've heard people or hackers, scammers, whatever you call them, using AI, like deep fake, to imitate your face. Because, you know, a lot of centralized exchange, they actually use this facial recognition thing. And I don't know if you know if AI can actually hack that system.
That's very interesting, Bonnie. I think that you seen my cybersecurity conference, because it seems like all your questions are just my conference. I can even make you my conference again. And yes, you are totally right. AI has been and is nowadays the first reason of the rate of attacks in cryptocurrency and crypto ecosystem, because we are in a period when the number of attacks and the sophistication level of attacks is a little higher than the security system. That is security system all over the world. I mean, the security system, how do they work? Of course, they secure the system as much as possible, but they mainly work as we identify an attack and we patch it. Okay, next attack. Identified patch. But nowadays, the number of attacks are higher than before, a lot higher, because the sophistication, because the AI. So we are having more attacks than defense, and that's why there is so much wave into blockchain ecosystem, and even more in Ethereum and cross-chain attacks.
Let's say now everybody, after watching this video, they're like, oh my God, I need to do something about my current situation. So what they'll do is they'll remove all the extensions, right?
Yes.
And voila, that's it.
For the web browser environment, yes. Some people will tell you, I use a VPN. Is it correct? I am correct. I am totally safe if I use the VPN, for example. So the answer again is no. I mean, there is many ways to find your identity again, because a VPN is just one of the way to change your localization. But you as a person, as a computer, you have many identity on you that you don't even know, and the system, the platform that I will show you for the next time if you want, is analyzing graphic card signature signal. It's analyzing motherboard signal. It's analyzing every, like, your web browser signals, and all that. He creates a hash. He creates a unique number on your computer. And the fact is, if you just change your IP, it's so small regarding all the rest of identification system solutions that he can provide, that it won't change the number. And he will say, no, you change your VPN, but I still recognize you, because I still in the world can see your graphic card, your motherboard, your programs, your web browser, and I can identify you. And the scary thing is that he will tell you even how many times you came to me. Even if you try to change your localization, he will say you came here 17 times. And this is the 70th time that you arrived to me. So yeah.
It feels so hopeless right now. Like, what? Even that don't work.
Yes, but that's why I say to stay anonymous means also not to create too much personality on your computer, not to personalize it too much, to remain with as simple as possible. You should, I will provide you also something else if you want. Empty your cookies very often. Don't let cookies. Bybit came from cookies, just to tell you. It was cookies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cookies on Google Chrome. Okay, they infected AWS S3 cloud from Safe, and then it introduced like vulnerable cookies on Google Chrome computer of Bybit owners. So it came from that web browser again.
You know, you should just write all these things down and then sell it as like a course or like a guideline. People will buy it because
Yes, that's why
now after talking to you, I'm freaking out.
that's why I make my audit. I put everything on my audit. When I make my audit, I provide question to people. They answer many questions, and every question after that I put a rate on it from 0 to 2, 0 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 4, depending on the question. And in the end of my audit, you have a full Excel file with many information on different subjects, and with a rate, with a final rate that is that I called a score, like a security. I called it like a security scored level. And this secure score level represent your safetiness at the point at this moment, and through that we can identify the aspect of your life, digital life, that you have to improve, and then you will see that the score will raise day after day, and then you will be safe. If you start to reach a score about 85% or 87%, you will be able to be good. No one as far today reach. I am very strict with people. No one reach more than 91% is the highest score. But
Wow.
but even 100% will represent just my vision on the best you can do on security. But my first advice is, don't think that you will be 100% secure. But if you do that, you will be okay.
Well, you've given people a lot of good suggestions and great insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you also, Bonnie, for inviting me in your YouTube.
If you want to check out Tangem, the link below gives you 10% off all products. Stay safe online.